Hey everyone, let's go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to be here today for the Virtual Direct Care Summit and just wanted to say a big thank you for having me here to give this presentation and talk about less fat, more muscle and the 5 actions to make 2025 your healthiest year yet. We're going to talk about how to lose weight and keep it off for good. I'm Dr. Stefie Deeds. Let's go ahead and get started. So first up, why does weight matter? Does weight matter? Well, I think most of us, if you're here and you're listening to this talk, you probably think that it does. And I would agree. So we do know that by the numbers, people are getting heavier in weight. 40% of Americans meet the technical diagnosis of having obesity by their BMI or their body mass index. So by weight, people have been getting heavier over the last 30, 40, 50 years, and the trajectory continues to go up. Now, there are many things at play here, but the biggest take home is just that this is affecting a lot of people. A lot of people, half of Americans almost, are dealing with the same issues that you might be dealing with and carrying around some extra weight. And we do think that this matters for many reasons. So, of course, this does have some negative health consequences and impacts that we're really starting to deal with as a medical community. So we know that having extra weight leads to higher rates of cardiovascular disease, diabetes. It's linked to 13 different types of cancer, can increase rates of sleep troubles like sleep apnea, liver disease, causes joint issues, and increases rates of and is associated with increased rates of depression. So really it affects a lot of health issues, and it hurts the wallet for people who do have extra weight and have obesity. Their healthcare costs are over $1,500 more per year than someone without obesity. Now you add that up over the years, and that is a lot of money. And for you as an individual, I think most people just want to look the way they feel on the inside, or they want to feel good about themselves, feel good on the inside, are often exhausted, either from having the extra weight and medical complications, or just from trying everything and not seeing results. And then being stigmatized for their body size over and over again at work, at school, by other people they see, by society. People are just exhausted by all of this. And so weight does matter. And people are sick of diet culture and being told what to do about their weight. Everyone seems to have an opinion, whether you're getting that opinion online, on social media, you're getting it from the friends and family, you're getting it from the doctor's office or the healthcare system. Everyone's going to tell you what to do. And the truth is, we all know that you've likely tried a million things at this point. You have tried. If you have extra weight and you live in America, you have tried something, whether that's been a supplement, a vitamin, a gym class, an organized program like Weight Watchers, or some fad or maybe less fad diet, whether that ranges from keto to vegan to vegetarianism, or I don't know, grapefruit diet, something wild like that. Nothing seemed to stick, and you've tried all these things, right? And so it's no wonder you might be feeling exhausted, frustrated, or all of the above. So today, what are we going to talk about? Well, I want to explain to you why all these things probably have failed or not stuck in the past, or why they maybe work a little bit and then things kind of plateau. So why do these traditional methods not work? And then we're going to talk about how to shift the focus from the war against yourself to one that's focused on more of a holistic approach that starts with why and starts with shifting that focus to the things that actually are impactful. I'm going to talk about how weight works, shifting that focus, and cover 5 strategies for a healthier 2025. These are 5 strategies for less fat and more muscle so that you can finally shed the weight and keep it off. This is about sustainability. Weight loss is a marathon, not a sprint. And then stick around to the end for a bonus, because I am going to mention medications, because I really know most of you might be here or sticking around because you want to know about my opinion of GLP medications like Ozempic or Wegovy. And I will mention some things about medication-assisted weight loss towards the end of the talk. So why are you here listening to me? So first, I'll just tell you a bit about who I am and why I was invited to give this talk for the Direct Care Summit. So again, I'm Stefie Deeds. I'm an MD. I'm background in internal medicine and obesity medicine, board certified. I am a physician and a self-proclaimed metabolic health expert with many years of experience working with patients on obesity and weight loss and all the metabolic complications that come along with that. I am the founder of my own private practice, which is a direct care model of practice called Deeds Health. I'm a membership-based clinic. I do direct primary care as well as weight management programs. But what else am I? Well, I was a professor of medicine at the University of Washington and still affiliated with them as an associate. I spent most of my career up to this point working at the Veterans Affairs in Seattle in primary care and women's health, but have been the medical director of the women's health clinics, as well as the medical director of primary care innovation, which, if you're innovative, is the reason why you might open a direct primary care type of practice. I'm really passionate about helping people understand and regain health. I'm also a mom with two really busy, energetic boys, so you can find me around my own neighborhood, hanging out with them, usually out running, eating, and coaching baseball occasionally, and finding similar to you that it's hard to fit it all in and prioritize and focus on your health and your family's health, but it's so worth it. All right, now back to the show here. We'll start with weight. Why is it so hard to lose weight? Why do 50% of the weight that people lose, they regain it within 2 years, no matter what diet, fad, or exercise program they seek? Gradually, their weight creeps back up to where they started. Well, let's talk about what controls your body weight. It's not just willpower. It's complex. It's a complex hormonal regulation of your body composition, of the fat, of the muscle, of signals that control hunger and fullness. It's influenced by your genetics as well as factors in the environment and those lifestyle levers. And your body is going to aggressively defend your body weight. So it's easy and it wants to put on more weight over time. And then as it puts on more weight, it doesn't know that that extra weight might be causing some health consequences, some joint pain, some diabetes, some high blood pressure. It doesn't see that. What it sees is, this is my body weight, this is where I'm happy, this is your body weight set point from those complex hormonal signals going on, from those genetics, from the environment, from the lifestyle over time. We have factors that make it easy to put weight on, and then your body's going to want to keep it there. At its most basic level, people have heard that what sets our body weight has to do with calories in versus calories out. So of course the calories in, excess of those, going to increase your body weight set point. Calories out, if that's if that's weighed more heavily, then you lose weight. Raise your hand if you've heard this. I think nobody is probably not raising their hand. So this is the traditional model and understanding of what controls body weight. And I will not deny that at its most basic level, this is true. An excess of calories is in part to blame for extra weight. And weight loss does require shifting to a deficit of calories, a loss of calories. But it's much more than this. If that's all that we're about, then why do diets fail? Because it's not that simple, right? These are some of the factors that impact your body weight. Again, I like to put it on this kind of display here so you can see it all in one place. We have the environment, we have genetics, we have dietary patterns, physical activity, and stress. Anything that's off in any of these areas is going to impact that body weight set point, driving it up usually higher and higher. Although, of course, you can imagine sometimes things in your environment, dietary patterns, etc., will drive it down. So these are all the things we have to factor in that are at play. Many complex layers. Here are some of the hormones that are really tied to body weight, hunger, and satiety that get shifted when you carry extra weight. By carrying extra weight, we get some body inflammation, we get changes in our insulin level and our blood sugar levels, and these affect things that drive our other hormonal signals that are located in our gut and our brain and throughout the body, that again lead us to continue to shift to carrying extra weight in most of the time. So again, if I just need to have a deficit of calories, can I just exercise my way to weight loss? No, you can't. You could ride your Peloton bike for 30 to 60 minutes and you could barely burn off a glass of wine or a little snack. So really, exercise does not drive a deficit for most people. Now, I'm going to tell you, you still have to exercise. There are going to be other things I mentioned here about why you need to do that. But it is not going to be exercise alone that does this. I hear a lot of people say, well, it's just because I need to exercise. That's why I haven't lost weight. No, that's not it. That's not the only thing, right? That's all those other things that we talked about. And why is that? Well, let me tell you here, I'm just showing you that this is how your body burns calories. Okay. Most of the calories you burn in a day are at rest, the resting metabolic rate. 60 to 70% of the calories you burn are just at rest. Then you get maybe 15% from that physical activity, that exercise you maybe did on the Peloton, that walking. Another 15 to maybe even 30% is done by what's called NEAT, which is non-exercise activity. That's just your regular walking around, cleaning up the house, moving here and there. So that drives almost as much as doing a dedicated exercise, dedicated effort. And then similarly, just digesting your food burns calories, which is great. We'd all be a little bit sad if that didn't burn any calories, but digesting food, about 10%. So you can see here, really that physical activity is just a small slice of the pie. And that's why, unless you're going to train for a marathon or you're really going above and beyond, you often will not just lose weight alone from exercise. But again, you still need to do it. Another thing that your body does, it's tricky when you're trying to lose weight and you're doing it through exercise alone. After you start to lose weight, your resting metabolism slows down. So after losing 10% of body weight, resting metabolism slows by 15 to 25%. What does that mean? This is another way of your body kind of fighting against you. You have lost weight, you're feeling successful, and then your calorie needs go down. So if you've already been cutting calories, now you need to cut them even further. This is really hard. This is the way of your body trying to defend that set point. It wants to get back there. So what are we going to do? Well, instead of just focusing on a number on the scale, we need to focus on changing the body composition from fat to muscle. We are going to focus on going from unhealthy to regaining health, unhealthy to healthy, from less fat to more muscle. So not only are you going to feel better, you will achieve a look that you are confident about. You will feel better. So again, we're going to shift the focus to strength. We're going to shift the focus to our body composition. We are going to shift the focus to health. Less fat, more muscle. And here are 5 key actions that I want you to think about starting today that you can use to reach that goal of more muscle, less fat. 2025 is here. It's full of opportunity to transform your health. These are science-backed tips. These are kind of some of my 5 key actions for you. Now, there are many other actions, but if we just focus and we can hit our goals in these areas, we can add on more layers as we go on. So here we go. Action 1. I want you to start tracking just to get a baseline. You don't have to do this long term, but I want you to start tracking your food intake, which will tell you your calories. You can also start tracking your steps. So people who track tend to lose more weight and do better. They are able to keep it off more in the long run. But I tend to say, I don't care if you're not the type who enjoys tracking. It's too much work. I know it's a lot of work. It can be. I have done it myself. Just use it as a baseline. Get a week under your belt because you will learn a lot. Don't change your habits. Just get the baseline, okay? So you can try some apps. Here's some tips for tracking. Try some apps like Lose It, MyFitnessPal, or Chronometer are 3 that I often recommend. Again, don't change how you're eating. You're just going to collect your baseline. If your weight is stable, then you're going to understand like what the average calories you eat, kind of what you eat in a day, generally is an estimate of how much you're also burning in a day. We all know that that weight loss lever does require some deficit somewhere. And that's why you hear the adage of trying to lose 200 or have a deficit of 200 to 500 calories per day, because over a course of a week, that is a pound. And that's how people lose a pound a week, is by knowing and targeting that deficit. But I just want you to track to kind of understand. It gives you some of that more conscious effort of like, wow, now I really can take stock of what I'm doing and where I need to make changes, because that will come up here in action 2. So my second action for you is to eat more protein and fiber. So now you've done your tracking for a week, and now you're going to set these targets of protein and fiber. Notice I didn't say calories. Now, I did mention 200 to 500 calorie deficit is how you lose a pound a week, but that is not going to be what you're focused on, because we are focusing on health. And for our health, we want more protein and more fiber. Adults who consumed 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day have a much lower risk of obesity and lower rates of obesity. Fiber adds in fullness signals. It also means you're eating a lot of fruits and veggies and whole grains that are going to be filling and fresh and fill you up. And that light calorie food is not only delicious, but it is going to give you the fuel that you need to feel better. All right. So you're going to eat more fiber, at least 30 grams a day. And by doing that, you're naturally going to have less room to eat more processed foods. You just don't have room for it in your day. Now the protein. So adults lose 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade after age 30. So this drives down your metabolism, because the more muscle you have, it's the only way that you can burn more calories. Increasing your muscle mass is the only way you can burn more calories. So you're going to increase your protein intake. So again, you've tracked it. You're going to look at your targets. You are going to try to get 0.6 to 1 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, this works out for most people. There's some different ways to do it in math, and you could get all into those things. But for all purposes, 0.6 to 1 grams of protein per body weight pound. Generally, a target for women is somewhere between 70 and 100 grams per day. For men, it may be a little bit more like 90 to 120 grams per day. And you break that up into meals and snacks with 20 to 40 grams of protein per meal or snack throughout the day in 3 to 4 divided meals or snacks. Okay, action 3. We have to turn that protein and that fibrous fuel into muscle. So you're going to focus on getting strong with resistance training. Now, I'm not just going to get toned. We are actually going to get strong. Of course, you'll get toned in the process, but that's not what it's about. We need to start doing things, lifting heavier. Not just, you can start with body weight, like yoga and things if you're really starting somewhere, but I want you to have no fear about really picking up the weights. There are so many ways to do this, from personal trainers to classes, home videos, and ways to do it without getting injured. But we need to start there, and we need to focus on getting stronger, building up those muscles. So I recommend for lifting, here's my tips: at least 2 to 3 times per week. Really just being consistent over time is key. It's going to take months to get stronger. Don't have a focus on a few months. It should be a year-long focus. Say, this is 2025, my year of strength. I want to be, this much stronger, able to lift this much more by the end of the year. Focus on progressive overload. So if you're doing sets of more than 12 and it's easy, you probably need to go up on your weight. You can do free weights, you can do barbells, you can do machines. They're all fair game. Machines are really good if you're not sure how to move your body and you don't want to get injured. And then make it heavier if it's getting too light. Again, going up. Maybe it'll take you a few months to go up, and that is fine. You can tell when you're ready most of the time. It's going to be too easy. You need to go up. Okay, now let's go on to action number 4. Just going to move more. Going to walk more. I tell people, get 10,000 steps in. Any form of movement burns some calories, but really it's about your cardiovascular health and increasing that NEAT as well as that physical activity in your life, and improving your cardiovascular health. There are other ways to move more. So I usually tell people the most simplest one of walking 10,000 steps per day. If you get less during the weekdays, then amp it up on the weekends so that you hit that average. I want you to move around more during the workday. Schedule breaks with yourself for walks. Sit and stand. Laps inside your house. Get a treadmill desk. All of these will work. You can sub out some of this walking for some high intensity interval training or HIIT training or some other organized activity, Peloton biking. That's fine too. I just want you to focus on doing more, whatever works for you. 150 minutes of moderate or 75 minutes of intense activity each week is the minimum. That's what's recommended by the American Heart Association. There's a reason for that. The most people don't even hit that, okay? And so you can choose, pick your own adventure here, but these are kind of the goals and some tips. Okay, now we're on to action number 5, my last one here. I want you to protect your sleep. So there is a U-shaped curve for sleep, meaning that if there's a sweet spot for sleep of 7 to 8 hours, 7 to 9 hours, but 7 to 8 is really the sweet spot. If you get less than 7 hours of sleep or more than 9 hours of sleep, you fall off of that curve of health. So the healthiest point is at 7 to 9 hours, and you increase your health risk, increased risk of gaining weight, which becomes harder when you get less or more. Along with the sleep comes, stress, worse mental health. So if you're sacrificing your sleep for work or your family, it's impacting your health. They need you to be healthy. So really focus on this. You're really going to sabotage your efforts if you're not sleeping well or you're too stressed out. What helps? Well, being physically active most days of the week will help. Making sure that your bed and bedroom are set up for sleep. Don't eat too close to dinner. Don't drink too close to dinner. We're going to shut down our minds. We're going to shut off our phones, shut off work. Make it relaxing to go to bed, and then stick to a time to get into bed and a time to get out of bed. And now for the bonus. Just wanted to talk a little bit about medications. So why might you choose medications along your weight loss journey? Well, for some individuals, and I would argue for most individuals, evidence-based medications, when they're combined with these lifestyle changes, are really going to unlock that greater success and sustainability. And like we talked about, that body weight set point is driven by gut and neurohormones, and it's going to regulate against you. Your body weight's going to, your resting metabolism's going to slow. Your hunger signals are going to go up. It's only normal that then that's going to throw a wrench into your lifestyle plan, and you're going to have to constantly make adjustments. But the medications can really help you, especially if you've been working on these lifestyle efforts for a while and then you kind of hit this plateau. So know that that's normal, and you're still making progress on changing your body composition. You're still going to make progress on focusing on health and getting stronger, but it's okay to ask for help. We're going to escape any shame or blame here. And there are many options, from some pills that have been around for decades and work really well to the newer injectables, which also work really well, but are come with their own bag of worms of challenges between cost and accessibility. And I really would recommend that you work with a trusted doctor that has experience, and kind of be leery of things online that are too good to be true when it comes to the supplement and health market, because many of those can be unsafe or unregulated. And so just talking with someone about what you're doing and having a guide is what I would recommend. And I wanted to round out with this quote from Oprah. She kind of talking about her experience in using medications and for helping with her weight journey. She said, "When I tell you how many times I've blamed myself because you think I'm smart enough to figure this out, and then you hear all along it's you fighting your brain." Which I think is another reason why these medications are something that can really help kind of break in there and help your body realize that it's not healthy to be at the body set point that it was at before, and how to help you unlock the path to getting to a healthier body weight set point. All right, so what did we cover today? Weight is tightly regulated metabolic state. It's influenced by your genetics and the environment. I want you to shift the focus to feeling whole, healthy, and strong. It's your first step. By taking those 5 key actions that we talked about today, you're going to start making progress towards your weight goals. And now, if you stuck around a little bit about me, I run this clinic called the Deeds Health Clinic. It is a membership medicine clinic located in West Seattle. And again, what do? I do primary care membership. That's kind of my bread and butter. I do weight loss for many, many, many of my primary care members. I also have a separate weight loss program that I run, where we're really focused just on doing a metabolic health assessment, and then we work together for a 6-month intensive block of time, and then you continue on as a member, and we do work a lot on these lifestyle changes as well as medication assistance management in both of those realms. And then I also offer some longevity consultations to my members for those who are focused on increasing their health span. It all starts with scheduling a discovery call if you want to meet with me and just chat about would this be a good fit for you. We can talk through any programs, memberships, and decide what's best. And then our journey starts together. If you're interested in doing any of that, you can head on over to my website, which is www.deedshealth.com, or you can email me or find me on Instagram, which are all great ways to connect. And I hope you have a wonderful, healthy 2025. And I look forward to chatting with any of you. I'm also happy to flag any questions through social or on email. Thank you again for having me in the summit, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year.